today we're going to do the 5 players that will not be back with their teams, right? So this could be trade, this could be free agency, however you want to slice it. And we're doing this on a national scale. So we're looking at all the players, all the teams. We've got 5 each. Erik Kratz, you are first. Unveil your list and then give us some of the juicy details on why you think it's going down that way.
This is not what I think. This is what's going to happen because I talked to each one of these guys and this is facts. I think this is how people are doing it on Twitter nowadays. They're just spewing out just garbage and saying it's facts. My list starts off with World Series champion Jack Flaherty will not sign back with the Dodgers. I think he'll sign with the Cubs. I think the Cubs are going to meddle in this market. While I think the Cubs should meddle in the Fried and Burns market, I think they're going to meddle in the Jack Flaherty market, which is a solid pickup if he continues to do what he did. I got Anthony Santander, also not coming. He's not going to be back with the Orioles because the Orioles are cheap. But I think the Orioles are going to extend one of their young guys this offseason. And that's more of a hope than a think. So Santander's 44 homers are going somewhere else. I don't have a landing spot for him, but... And then my friend, like we talked to our buddy Kevin McAlpin. I already talked to him about it. Kyle Higashioka, lock it in. Atlanta Braves. They're a team that really, really, like, they follow analytics in the catching sense, and no greater stat than SLAA+. Strikes looking above average. And Kyle Higashioka has been a top 5 receiver for the last 6 years in the big leagues. He had 18 pumps, which is actually better than the 15 that Darno hit in more at-bats last year, and he killed him in the playoffs. Kyle Higashioka, Atlanta Brave. This is my next one for all you Yankee fans, and Derek Lewandowski can listen to this one. Clay Holmes will not be back with the Yankees. The Yankees fans have not wanted him for a long time. He's going to go to a place that has a larger stadium for a ground ball pitcher. He's going to go to Kansas City. He's going to sign with KC. He's going to be a nice 8th-inning piece for them behind Lucas Erceg. And it's a lot of ground balls. They're going to play great defense behind him. And my last person that's not going to be back with their team, Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi and all of his billion strikeouts, he's going to have a high ERA. That's okay. Is going to sign with the aforementioned cheap team, Baltimore Orioles.
Wow.
I like it. Kratzy getting in depth, dude. I'm not going to get that in depth, but I'm going to say these guys will not be back on the squad. All right, Scotty, is it my turn?
Yeah, you're up, big boy.
All right, let me go. I got them all written down in no particular order. I think some people in the metro area here would understand this. Pete Alonso is the first guy I thought of. I don't think he's going to be a Met anymore. I will tell you this. I think he will be a Yankee. I think he stays in New York because, I think some of this is going to come down to Juan Soto because if they do have the money, I think they definitely go over Pete Alonso. He's one of the top-rated guys last year in picking balls from infielders. The guy can play first base. Does he still need work? Of course, but he's a power hitter. He's going to get 30-plus homers every year. That's a positive note for hopefully the Yankees. Christian Walker, this guy's been talked about forever. I see him going to a contending team. I don't see him going back to the D-backs.
Hold up. Bring me in.
What?
The D-backs are a contending team. You're just saying that they won't pay him as much as
I don't. I think it was
Yankees.
just 1 year. I know you say contending. They didn't make the playoffs, so for me, that's not contending. In my opinion. I know.
They made the World Series 2 years ago, and they missed the playoffs.
They did, but
game.
It's a what have you done for me lately world, and we all know that. We're going to go back to the Yankees here. Gleyber Torres will not be a Yankee next year. There's going to be a team who values him a little bit more than the Yankees do. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I do see him going to a team where it's like, hey, we're going to take you and we're going to let you go here. Go play second base and be that guy because he did have a good year. Blake Snell is my next one. He needs a recharge. I would like to see him back on the East Coast. I don't have no team in particular, but I think, getting him back on the East Side here in the Midwest, at least the Midwest, I don't know why. I think he plays better in the East Coast. And my last one, which, it came to me right away when I was looking at all these free agents, Aroldis Chapman. I see Aroldis, and I raise you another Aroldis. This guy had a really good year last year. He's still throwing hard. And I think he's going to go to another contending team. I could see him even going back to the Yankees on a nice little deal. So those are my top 5 right there.
Very nice. Okay, so I didn't see what you guys were putting together, and I wanted to just put a blend together. So I do have Glaber on my list as well.
Ooh.
Todd Father. I've seen more than I thought I would articles saying that they think he's going to return, and I just really don't see it. And I think there are going to be other teams that value him more, like you said, and I could see actually the Royals being a fit. The Royals need another bat. I think he'd be a nice fit there with KC. I think some other spots, probably Toronto could be a fit. I know Seattle's been mentioned. My only thing with Seattle is you can't offer him a 1-year deal. That's got to be a multi-year. There are other teams that could potentially pull off a 1-year, high 1-year contract for him to prove it and get back on the market because he's pretty young and his postseason was great, but his regular season wasn't up to speed for him. But you're not generally a free agent going to Seattle to try and up the offensive numbers, right? So I could see that being a fit, but they'd have to offer him, I think, 3 or 4 years. All right. Willy Adames is the easiest one. I just want to get one obvious guy out there. I mean, the Brewers don't play ball to that extent. So Adames, he gone. Max Fried, I think he's not coming back to Atlanta. They had a lot of time to figure this out. So at this point, you got this far. I just don't see it. I mean, are the Braves going to shell out significant cash, really paying market value at this point when most of their players are on team-friendly extensions? They never could figure that out with him. I do think he might want to end up back on the West Coast guy, and I think there will be teams on the West Coast that are interested in his services. Obviously, there's some teams in the Northeast as well, but yeah, I think he's gone. I think they had a lot of time to figure this out, and it didn't happen. Garrett Crochet, I mean, that's a lock. I'd be shocked if he's not traded this offseason. So hitting a couple trade targets here at the end. And then, of course, Devin Williams, too. He is gone. I think both of those guys at the end need to be traded in the offseason. I know sometimes Kratz, GMs can get tight and try and hold the leverage of, well, we can do this at the trade deadline. I'd just be careful. Guys get hurt. Williams has had weird injury issues. He played half a season last year. He was really good when he came back, besides the homer to Pete Alonso in the playoffs. And Garrett Crochet obviously had a breakout year, but he's had injury history. He pitched a lot more than he ever had in the past. So don't you agree that both of these players should be traded this offseason and you don't hold the leverage of, hey, we could do this at the trade deadline? I'm like, oof. Can you imagine if the White Sox hold on to him and then he gets hurt in May? I mean, ooh. They'd be out with pitchforks.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Crochet you can wait. You can't wait with Devin Williams. Sorry, this team tries to contend. They do it year in and year out. It's break it down, rebuild it as another big league contending playoff team. You can't wait on Devin Williams. You can't wait. And he's clearly, if he's available, they have a top asset. He is the top tradable closing asset out there, and everybody needs closers.
Yeah, it should be easy. Obviously, the Brewers are pretty good on the trade front. They've had to do this quite a bit in the past. They did this with Josh Hader. And actually, if you follow the web of that deal, it did work out pretty well for them. The web includes a little William Contreras action for Milwaukee, ultimately, right? Because Estuary Ruiz, and then Ruiz ends up turning into Contreras and others. Really good deal for them. Piamps, the whole deal. So anyway, hope you like the list. Comment, let us know others that you think are not going to return to their team. They were on the team in 24. You don't think they're returning in 2025.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.